Pick-me's don't usually get picked. And if they do get picked, they don't usually get picked by quality men. They usually get picked by guys who are either really insecure, so they need a woman who needs them, who's going to become dependent on them, or they tend to get picked by men who are very manipulative.
Pick-me women do not get picked by quality men. We have to put quality men beside it, because some of them come out and claim that you all say pick-me women don't get picked, but this is my man, my man, my man. They have to know that they do not get picked by quality men. And if eventually they get picked, the man is benefiting one or two from them. Probably she's the one paying the bills and the man is broke. A pick-me. Who is a pick-me? What is your definition of pick-me? Let me know down in the comment section. For me, a definition of pick-me is a girl or a lady or a woman that always want to seek male validation, that always want to seek attention from men, even if they are broke, they are deadbeats, and they don't even want it. They always want to seek attention from men. They always want to do everything that a man wants. They always want to sneak on their friends, which is their girls. So far, it's going to make the man happy. Anything just to make the man happy. Whatever happens to them, they do not care. And anybody can actually be a pick-me. But then, being a pick-me for a long time, that is where there's a problem. Because at some point, you might have been a pick-me. I might have also been a pick-me. In fact, I feel like I was a pick-me sometimes ago. But then, if you snap back easily and you're seeing reality and you're like, okay, you're understanding what's going on, definitely you've moved from being pick-me to something else. But then there are some girls that they don't want to, they get stuck by it. They are being pick-me from high school to college to being a mom. Some might even be a pick-me being a grandma. That's why you see some mothers that are pick-me's. Yes, we've seen videos of mothers that are pick-me, and we've seen what happened to their children or to their daughters. That's why they pass those kind of traits to their daughters. I have compilation of videos to share with you all today about why pick-me's do not get picked. Let us watch these videos together, and I'm about to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Pick-me's don't usually get picked. And if they do get picked, they don't usually get picked by quality men. They usually get picked by guys who are either really insecure, so they need a woman who needs them, who's going to become dependent on them, or they tend to get picked by men who are very manipulative. They don't get picked by quality men. That's the hypocrisy of the whole argument. Men will tell you this is what we want, but they don't pick that girl. That's why the irony kills me of guys that will come on like my social media, and when I'm giving women advice, they'll be like, oh, see, that's the reason why you're single. That's the reason why you don't have a man. That's the reason why you don't have a ring on your finger, all these things. And I'm like, really, sir? Because listening to men and listening to men say what they wanted and trying to be the perfect woman, trying to be that woman that men said that they wanted is actually what got me single. Because I dedicated too much of my life to trying to cater to men and trying to be what men wanted.
Pick-me's are never gonna get picked by men. Never. They're never gonna get picked by men, and I'm gonna break down why. Men live in a world where they have been conditioned to have cognitive dissonance. They are being told that because they exist as a man, they have power and they have value. But the reality that they're living, that is not true. They are going to work answering to another man. They are living a life where they are completely invisible. No one checks in on them. No one compliments them. No one ever gives them any validation. And typically, they aren't well respected by even the other men in their life or the men that they work with or know personally. Men are always chasing the thing that patriarchy has promised them. And that number one thing is power. Power and dominance. So two things. Men are always trying to look for a source, and they're always trying to look for an outlet where they can create a dynamic where they are receiving this power that the patriarchy has promised them. When you're a willing participant in something, no one can have power over you. If you have a job and you genuinely enjoy like going to work and you actually want to be there all the time, your boss using their power dynamic to force you to work more, it's not gonna bother you, and it damn for sure can't bother them because you want to be there. You aren't giving them a negative reaction or any resistance to wanting to go to work extra. So they cannot assert any power over you because you're not able to give them any ammunition to make them feel like, oh my goodness, like this is actually something that they would want to resist because they don't want to do it. No, it doesn't matter. You're going to be indifferent about the situation because you want to be there. You don't mind having to go to work more. Noah literally quoted his own mother pretty much explaining this dynamic, and she says the way, or he says that she says, the way my mother always explained it, the traditional man wants a woman to be subservient, but he never falls in love with the subservient woman. He's attracted to independent women. He's like an exotic bird collector, she said. He only wants a woman who is free because his dream is to put her in a cage. Pick-me women don't get picked because there is no dominance to assert over them. There is no pushback against them. A pick-me woman is not going to make a man feel like he's the dominant one, like he's powerful, as though he can control her and manipulate her and put her in a predicament that she wouldn't be comfortable in. Men are not free people. They're not. They're prisoners of the patriarchy. They're prisoners of their own fucked up mentality. They are prisoners of a society that has lied to them. So the only source of fulfillment that a man can then have is to find a woman who is like anti-men. She's very independent. She's minding her own business, and they want to be able to manipulate this woman and be able to have the satisfaction of telling them, I have so much power as a man that I was able to get this woman to stop working, to stop going after her passions, to stop pursuing her dreams. And they take great pride in that because that is going to be the only level of fulfillment that they have successfully acted out at the hands of patriarchy. Don't get me wrong. Men will still use the pick-me. Men will still find a way to benefit off of the pick-me needing male validation, off of her needing a man and having close proximity to a man. But a man much rather take a woman who is not male-centered and try to create her to be male-centered. So if you're a pick-me, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Have you ever talked to like a grandmother or the older generation of women and they explain to you, how they got into a marriage or a relationship with a man? A lot of the times they say, he wore me down. He broke me down. Men very rarely go after the woman that wants them because they rather break a woman down. They rather wear a woman down because that's more satisfying for them. Naturally, men are very sadistic individuals. Very sadistic individuals. Men get zero validation for going after the women or entertaining the women that want them because it doesn't prove anything to them. They have to take someone and wear them down and break them down because that's what actually gives them validation. They want the girl that they want to do what they are telling her to do because that is their way of having validation. That's their way of having power.
Let's talk about the reason why men don't want to pick me girl, but when it comes to, I'm not sure yet girl, they love her. A pick-me girl abandons herself like this. She has no sense of self. She always tries to be and do whatever she thinks he wants her to be and do because she doesn't believe that she's good enough. She doesn't value herself, so she's always in the convincing mode. And she's never going to find a guy who's going to treat her better than the way that she treats herself. Do you think a man is going to be crazy about a woman that he doesn't value? Absolutely not. But on the other hand, I'm not sure yet, girl. That one is super attractive. She knows exactly who she is. She knows what she's bringing to the table. So she's not interested to convince anyone. She already knows she's worthy. So she's staying objective. Instead of trying to be convenient, nice girl, she stays objective. She actually stays in her power and looks at the guy and let me see if I actually like you. Let me see if you're actually compatible. She has no problem to say no to the things that she doesn't want to do. She has strong boundaries. She does not walk on eggshells. So she exudes confidence, self-worth, value. And not surprisingly, men love that. Men want to be with a woman that they value. So when she's showing that that's who she is, a high-value woman, he's going to love her. So bottom line, don't be a pick-me girl. Value yourself.
Sure can, yeah. It's actually a really simple answer. The red pill dudes don't want pick-me girls. They don't want pick-me girls. They don't want a woman who will just randomly just already have a sandwich made for them, or who will already have dinner ready on the table by the time they get home. They don't want that. They want a non-pick-me woman, a non-pick-me girl, a non-subservient woman that they can break down and beat down and force into subservience. That's what they actually want. The easiest and most obvious example of this is Pearl. We all know who Pearl is. She is the type of pick-me bitch that is saying, this is what men want. This is the type of women that men want, and we need to be like this in order to treat them the way they deserve to be treated. She ain't got no ring on her finger, and she popped up 2-3 years ago by now. If the men that she is appealing to actually wanted her, they would be knocking down her door to get that ring on her finger, to marry her, and to have her be the mother of their children right now. The red pill dudes don't want pick-me girls. The red pill dudes want to take a regular woman and force her into this tiny, tiny, tiny little box. Even though there are loads of pick-me girls that have already put themselves into that tiny little box. Because having a girl put themselves in a box is not as much fun as forcing a woman into the box yourself.
Listen, the reason a guy is going to pick to marry a girl like the bitch or the selfish girl as opposed to a pick-me is because the pick-me would have already given him everything that he will get in a marriage. What is the incentive? You would not sign a contract with a company that's already doing everything for you. Why sign the contract? So the pick-me girl has already done everything. She's doing the wife duties. She's doing everything for him. She's moving countries for him. She's already his wifey, and as much as he might like her, what is the incentive to marry her? Whilst a girl who knows her worth and does what she needs to do and wants to do isn't doing that for random guys. She's building her own life. That's why every guy would rather marry her than the pick-me girl.
Red pill dudes don't want pick-me girls.
Yeah, so why do these boys claim that they want this housewife who's going to stay at home, raise the kids, just drop her whole life and wait on them hand and foot? And then when they're presented with that, they actually don't want anything to do with those pick-me girls? That creator absolutely nailed it. It's because that's not what they want at all, actually. These boys have dehumanized women and the act of dating so substantially that they've essentially turned it into almost like a giant video game, where they want to fight women who are the exact opposite of that into subservience. And it's the same thing as when they looked into what men actually meant when they said they wanted to date an intelligent woman, which was that they wanted to date a woman that was intelligent, yes, but always a little bit less intelligent than them, right? So that they were always kind of challenging them and whatnot, but usually not winning. It's the same reason that movie Poor Things, when you look it up on Google, is listed under comedy/fantasy, even though it was the most disturbing movie many of us had ever seen. It was directed by a man based off of a book written by a man, and it is being absolutely eaten up and loved by men right now. And I see this all the time when I'm dating, because if y'all know me, you know that I am stubborn, right? I love good witty banter, and I love researching and debating topics, of course. So I always attract these boys who are really interested in those things as well. And at the very beginning, that's always what they say they love about me, right? Like, I'm very goal-oriented. I know exactly what I want out of this life. I'm very independent. I'm upfront about it always. I love some friendly banter and debating and discussing topics. But then what happens is one of two things. I see them either get tired or grow exhausted of the fact that they're not like consistently winning like they win some of our arguments and our banters, right? But they're not winning as many as they'd want. And suddenly all of this banter that was fun and flirty and exciting at the beginning is becoming boring and difficult, and it's all my problem, right? They want the women who can challenge them, but they can still put in their place at the end of the day. Or when the more serious topics come around, like marriage and children, and they want me like at home sat with the kids to abandon my life, I get like startled and upset out of nowhere when I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's what I want for my life. Like as if at some point I was going to magically change my mind on all of these things. And in fairness, like maybe someday I'll want those things, but definitely not right now. And I never gave you any preconceived notions that that would be something that I would want right now. And that upsets them deeply because they feel they've lost in this strange game of dating that they've created.
If you ask me why pick-me women do not get picked, I will tell you because these men do not want pick-me women. And why don't they want pick-me women? It's because these men always want challenges. They always want women that's very hard to get. Women they have to get by telling their friends, you know what, I'm going to get this girl. And their friends are like, no, you can't get this girl. She's way above your standard. Those are the kind of ladies, those are the kind of women that these men love to get. They just want to show the world that I got her. Like I told you I was going to get her. That is why they do not go for pick-me women. Because pick-me women, all you need to do is just do the bare minimum. If I don't even do, some might not even do even bare minimum. They do the least, like she's already everywhere you want her to be. Most men do not want that, right? They always want the ones that even if you do what is above your minimum, you have to work so hard to get her attention because she knows what she wants. She knows her value. And she knows that, okay, what can you offer me? Like, you know why they want this kind of women? Not because they want her to continue being like that. They want this kind of women so that they can tame her when they get her. You see women that are trad wives, women that they're stay-at-home mom, women that are struggling in the house. They are married, right? And when you interview them or ask them questions, you realize that that was not their initial dream. That was not what the man promised them. That was not what they thought their life would have been like. They had different dreams compared to being a child wife or a stay-at-home mom that is taking care of 8 children. Even 3 children is a lot, right? That was not their dream. They had dreams, and these men saw it when they were, relationship stage, like call it courtship. While they were courting, they saw it, they knew that this girl had a dream, but at the back of this guy's mind is that I am going to marry you and you're not going to get your dream. That is why they go for women like that. So that you won't be able to achieve that dream. So that they will be able to control you. They will be able to drag you back or bring you down from your ladder and tell you, what do you think you're climbing to? And that is why you see women that probably have this dream, oh, I want to be a model, I've always wanted to work into a company. Let them get married. You will see that the man will tell them, who's going to take care of the kids when you go out and work? You're pregnant, you cannot walk. You have to stay at home. To start gaslighting and be like, but that was my dream. Like, but you're pregnant now. You see that they will not allow you to achieve your dreams. They will always want to bring you down. That is why they always go for girls like that. It's not because they love those kind of girls. It's not because they do them for challenge. Most of the time, they tell their friends, I'm going to take this challenge. I'm going to get this girl, and they're going to get her, right? And when they get her, they're going to change her entirely. So when you're a pick me woman and you think that, oh, I'm gonna do everything I want, you watch videos of how to make a man love me, how to please a man, like all those kind of videos, right? And you do all these things, you dress the way you want a man to always see you, and eventually you don't get picked. It's not because you're not the problem. They do not want pick me women unless they're gonna benefit something from you. Probably you're rich and they'll be like, okay, I'm going to be a princess when I'm dating this girl. Like, I'm going to, my accommodation is taken care of, transportation, feeding, she's going to cook, she's going to clean, do everything. All I have to do is exist. That is when you get picked. But if you don't have money, you're still struggling, you're just, all you have to offer is your beauty, they're not going to pick you, right? They would rather go pick the one that do not give a F about them. If somebody asks you, why do men don't pick me women? What is your take? Yes, everybody has definition of a pick me. That is why I'm like, put your own definition down in comment section. I said my own is a woman that always want to seek male attention, validation, anything a man wants, she always want to do. She doesn't care about anybody. In fact, she will snitch on her friends. She will embarrass her friends, all because of a man. You see a group of girls together, and because there's a guy there, she's like, that is why I don't do that. Those are PICKMEs. In my own definition, right? You might have your own different definition, because some women were like, people call them PICKMEs, but they feel that they are not PICKMEs. So some people don't even know if they are PICKME or not. And were you once a PICKME? Let us know down in the comment section. That's the conversation we are having in today's video. Kindly put your thoughts in the comment section respectfully. And thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And please turn on the post notification bell to get notified as soon as I upload another interesting video. It's your girl, Maria Davis. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.